Today, we're digging into a historical argument for using the Insurrection Act. The source asks, what would America's founders do if they saw the political unrest we have today? The analysis looks back at two key moments that really tested the brand new republic. So, let's start with Shay's rebellion. This was the nation's first major internal crisis back in 1786. And these rebels? They were actually veterans and farmers who hadn't been paid after the war. But their protests escalated, and they actually started obstructing courts and getting violent. The state was completely outmatched. The founders were genuinely afraid the nation wouldn't survive. So what did they do? They sent in the militia to restore the rule of law. A few years later, another test pops up, the Whiskey Rebellion, this time under President Washington. This was all about a new federal tax on whiskey, which to many felt like pure tyranny. And Washington's response was huge. He actually led the troops himself to put it down. The source argues their biggest fear wasn't a king. It was lawlessness disguised as liberty.
So the argument is they feared chaos and disunion even more than they feared tyranny.
Okay, so how does all this history connect to the arguments being made right now? The source draws these direct parallels between what happened then and what it sees happening now. Because of that, the source argues this isn't just resistance, it's a rebellion against the system. So, if that's the case, what does the source suggest should actually be done? The proposal is pretty clear. Make a calm, constitutional case with no personal attacks at all. So what did the source's own audience think of this idea? Well, they were polled. And turns out, a clear majority, 62%, were actually for it. What about the 38% who voted no? The source theorizes they feared it might cause a civil war, which really leaves us with the critical question at the heart of this whole debate.